What's going on, Island Hoppers? Today we are coming to you from Houston, Texas. Let's do it. All right, coming to you from the southeastern part of Texas, Houston, right there just north of Galveston Bay. We're in this Houston travel guide. We're going to take you around the downtown area, show you some malls around Houston, as well as head down to Galveston and show you what it looks like down there. In fact, I would say Houston is more of a livable city than it is a travel destination, but many people do travel to this part of Texas and go down to Galveston. That's why we're showing you around Houston and Galveston area. And with that being said, yes, we are actually going to go down to Johnson Space Center, where we're going to learn about the North American Space Agency, NASA. There's also an underground in Houston, which we will be showing you as well. Here we are at the Discovery Green right here in downtown Houston. This is also known as Avenida, the center of entertainment in Houston. I don't think people fully realize just how big Houston is. There's 2.3 million people who live in Houston alone. That includes Midtown, downtown, and the surrounding areas. But then when you go into the metro area, it's well over 7 million people, making it the 5th largest city metropolitan area in the United States. Big city, lots of freeways, big 5, 6, 7 lane freeways from my experience, huge. A lot of people want to know what Houston's famous for. Well, let's just talk about the oil refineries. So Houston is a major economic hub for oil and petroleum refineries. Also, space exploration, which we'll be showing you Johnson Space Center a little later on in this video. And also more green parks in the city of Houston than any other city in the top 10. Yes, even more parks than New York City. Downtown Houston, especially as you go towards Midtown, does have an arts district if you guys were looking forward to seeing that. And if this is your first time to Island Hopper TV and you're enjoying this travel guide from Houston, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the bell to get notified every time we make a new travel guide. So the top 4 industries here in Houston: aerospace, oil and gas, medical, and also the fields of science. So lots of industry out here. In fact, Houston's #1 in the country for job creation, believe it or not. So for all you baseball fans, if you guys want to see the Houston Astros play, come on over here to Minute Maid Park. They're not playing right now because it's the middle of the afternoon, but beautiful stadium nonetheless to watch a ball game. So here we are at the old market square right here. This is where they actually settled to create the capital for the Republic of Texas. But the idea was scrapped, moved to Austin later on, and now this became the flourishing center for commerce in Houston. So here we are at the Buffalo Bayou waterway right here. This is like a river, but it's more of a bayou. This is actually where the founding settlement of Houston was set up. So you can see the waterway. We're right now underneath some roads and highways right underneath the city of Houston. We're gonna actually walk over here and show you some parks. Look at that little guy there. We didn't even know if he was alive until he started moving. I'll give you a bit more history on the city of Houston. It was named after General Sam Houston. So that's where the settlement gets its name. And he was a major Texas War general. Some of you guys also may know about the Texas Rangers. They were also a part of the area here when it was the Republic of Texas. Now, the people who originally settled this area were the Karanakawa people, and they were in the region for 2,000 years before Europeans ever arrived. Now, where Houston really began to develop commercially was in 1860 when it became a railroad hub for exporting cotton, but then it experienced a second boom when President Woodrow Wilson agreed to build a deepwater port of Houston in 1914, which would eventually lead to the World War II shipbuilding industry that was actually at Ellington Field, and even the Brown Shipping Company in 1942, right there in Galveston Bay. And another thing you could do when you come to Houston is go to the downtown aquarium and adventure park. Of course, this is a great place to bring kids alongside the Johnson Space Center, which don't forget we're going to be showing you here a little later on. So lots of things for you to take the kids to do if you're a family. And if you look right behind me, you can see the Herman Square. This here is actually the Houston City Hall. Here we are on the cross streets of Louisiana and Walker. This here is the Skyline District, where all the big towers are that you see for the skyline. Did you know that Houston actually has an underground city or underground tunnel system? Let's go explore it. We're going to go to the M level. All right, so we've made it to the mall level. This is the underground of Houston. It goes around to all the buildings. It's actually quite expansive if you actually tour it around, but you can see they've got restaurants like right here. And let's keep going. So this is what it looks like when you're actually in transit from building to building, going underneath the city, underneath the roads. We're actually going towards the Wells Fargo Plaza. That's another place you can get under. But if you look right here, downtown tunnel loop, it tells you all the locations. And if you guys are looking for a cool hotel that actually connects to the underground where you don't even have to go outside, Hyatt Regency right downtown Houston. Not only does Houston have an underground tunnel system, it also has an above ground tunnel system that allows you to go from building to building, as you can see right here by this walkway. All right, so we've made it to the Bayou Park right here. We're gonna go down and check out the Wash Bridge Bat Colony. You can hear the thunder. It's all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in comes this rainstorm with thunder and lightning. But check out this cool fountain. So when you're down here on Buffalo Bayou, under Waugh Drive is a giant bat colony, one of the biggest in the states of the United States and in Texas. But when you come down here, it stinks, it smells. I don't know why anyone would want to come down here, but it is a thing to do. Maybe if you love bats, I guess you come down here, but I would say when you come down to Buffalo Bayou Park, you could probably skip the bat colony unless you're a bat lover. Here we are at the mall called the Galleria. Look below me, they've even got an ice rink in this giant mall. There's two different buildings. And if you're a fan of Joel Osteen, you can see Lakewood right there, which is where he does most of his sermons. All right, here we are giving you a really good look here at the freeway system, which, as you know, Houston is known for these large freeways that also don't have enough width to them because you still get tons of traffic jams in Houston, believe it or not. Traffic in Houston is not ideal, especially during rush hour. Nonetheless, we're en route to Galveston, but along the way is the Johnson Space Center, so let's go take a look. Look at all those NASA artifacts you got right there in that big shuttle. And you can see the 747 that carried that shuttle there called the Independence. So when you come down towards Galveston, halfway between Houston and Galveston, there's the Johnson Space Center, which I'm at right now. This is an area where you can learn all about the history of NASA. Also remember, from Apollo 13, Houston, we have a problem. This is nearby where Central Command was for that. And there is a look at the prices. You can see $29.95 for adults, $24.95 for children, and $27.95 for seniors. All right, after wrapping it up at the Johnson Space Center and learning all about the North American Space Agency, you can head down to Galveston and you can see the beach, the beautiful weather, the sunshine, and even the Galveston Island Historic Pleasure Pier where they have the Texas Flyer, Pirates Plunge, Cyclone, Texas Tea. Also, there is another area down here that you'll want to check out called the Moody Garden. So we could do a full video on Galveston, but we've decided to include it in the Houston guide. But do add Moody Gardens to your list. Galveston Beach, Galveston Island, horse and pony rides, all that good stuff. If you guys are looking for some entertainment down in the Houston area, Galveston's really where you want to be. My big takeaway about Houston is that the west side of Houston is more of where the money's at. There's a lot of big cities in the suburbs of Houston that are part of the overall metro area, like the Woodlands, there's Katy, and there's a few other places that you can go outside the city that have big money, okay? Nice areas. East Houston, I noticed, was a little bit older and more industrial, so I would recommend going either to West Houston or down south into Galveston area if you are a visitor traveling to Houston. And if you guys enjoyed this Houston travel guide, please do consider liking the guide and also subscribing to this channel if you're new to Island Hopper TV. Lots of travel guides across the United States and Texas. Click on any one of these links and you can watch them there, and we will see you guys on the next one.